How many hours do you usually spend in a day?
10 hours, 10.
10 hours when I was younger.
I just lose motivation after an hour.
Do you have any other study tips?
I would go for walks on campus.
I do like the Pomodoro. Yeah.
勉強を継続することは簡単ではない。時にはめんどくさくて投げ出したくもなる。そんな中、カナダのエリート大学生は一体何時間勉強しているのか、どうやってモチベーションを保っているのか、今回は僕が留学していたブリティッシュコロンビア大学でその実態に迫っていく。What's your major?
Math, computer science.
Oh,
Computer science.
Math.
math?
And I'm in math.
Oh, math! Yes. Oh, wow. I hate math actually. How many hours do you usually spend in a day to study for your exam?
Is this during final season or regular?
During final season, like a business.
Final season.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 to 6.
5 to 6.
Yeah, I'd say around 5 hours as well. Yeah. It varies.
I'd say on average like 1 to 2 hours probably. I normally study like 5 to 6 the day before, but like the other days like 1 hour most.
1
at
hour.
most.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
10 hours, 10.
10 hours?
Probably
in a day?
in a day, yeah.
In a day?
Yeah, I would say
that's a lot.
I start at probably 9 and end usually around
So you
10
kept
or
studying
something.
10 hours every single day?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You
I would say like 6.
good? 6, but it's still...
I'd probably say like 6 like solid hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you maintain your motivation to study?
Honestly, I would go for walks on campus. Like walking to the Rose Garden was a big one for
Take a
me.
break?
Yeah, taking breaks is helpful. Karaoke as well, it also helps.
Karaoke?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Karaoke is Japanese actually, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
How often did you take a break? Like once in an hour? Or...
Maybe once an hour, once every 2 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you kept studying for like 10 hours?
Yeah.
You?
I do like the Pomodoro.
Pomodoro?
Yeah. So it's like I do like 45 minutes like work and then 15 or 5-minute break, and then you do like and then you do like four sets of it I think, and then you take a 15-minute break, and I'll do that. Yeah.
Did it work well?
Yeah, it's really helpful at like focusing and just getting work done and then being like completely done with everything.
You guys just finished your final, right?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was okay.
okay.
Could
Okay.
be better.
Did you spend a lot of time to study?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many hours do you spend in a day on average?
So before the final, like 5 to like 6, 7
5.
hours.
Uh-huh.
Before the finals, like per day, probably like 3 hours.
3?
3.
3 hours. You spend 5 or 6 hours.
Because I had to study everything before, like one day
Uh-huh.
before.
I
So
see,
it was
I
like
I used to spend like 10 hours when I was younger.
10 hours.
Yeah, but-
That's a lot.
But I feel like this year I spend more like 6 hours. But I'm really focusing on it. I turn off
but
my
it's still a
phone
lot.
and I focus a lot.
Mm.
I just 6 hours. It's not a big deal in a day. Like if you're on your exam period,
Yeah.
you like 6 hours. Like for example, from 12 to 6, it's fine.
I would say if I'm productive, like 6 would be good, but it's more like 3. I wish I was more productive, but yeah.
All right. Got it. So was it easy to maintain your motivation or no?
Really depends. During the exam period, I had so much motivation, but I would say the period before when you need to submit all your papers, your assignments. So for example, 3 or 4 weeks before the exams, I was so busy, I was so stressed, I had no motivation. I did not want it to work. Yeah. I spent 10 hours studying today, but your brain is not focused anymore. Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any other tips to study hard?
I would say drink water.
Drink water.
It sounds
Wow.
I don't know. I always because then you get like a forced excuse where you have to go to the bathroom. That one, like a little forced break. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And yours?
I just like study. I start really early. I don't like to go to bed late, so I like to study earlier in the day, and then I can go to bed at like 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
Yeah, so just study at least a week before.
Even though the day before the exam.
Yeah,
went
like
to
sleep
LA.
is really important to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's true. But most people tend to stay up late just before the day for exam.
No,
because-
it makes me like upset. So
Yeah.
early.
So you
Yeah.
study early, you prepare early. That's good.
Yeah.
So it's a final season, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So how many hours do you spend in a day?
As a graduate student, I only had one final this
Oh,
term, but I want to say maybe preparing for that like 4 to 6 hours a day.
6 hours in a
Yeah,
day,
sure.
on average.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Right?
I think probably if you're just kind of by yourself and really struggling to understand things, it can be hard. But I think, if you form like study groups with friends and try to kind of mutually understand the material together, or kind of do things to make the study more interesting for you. So that might be like, trying to like think of interesting problems and then trying to solve those problems. So yeah, I don't know, finding kind of different ways to motivate yourself because yeah, I think it can be hard to just study in isolation.
So do you have any other study tips to maintain your motivation or just to improve your productivity?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I'd say probably one good thing too is like balancing out your study with fun things. Yeah, I mean, I think to a certain degree as well, good performance is important, but at a certain point you get diminishing returns if you just kind of keep studying and it's not going to help anymore. So, you know, you need to balance that with like, you know, maybe, okay, I'm going to study and then I'll do like fun things, you know, with friends, or I'll like give myself time to like relax for a little bit. So having like a little bit of that push and pull of like being productive, but also having times to do things you enjoy, I think is important, yeah.
So balancing out is
Exactly,
important for
yeah.
you. Okay, I see.
Oh, shit. Fuck, you so bad.
Oh shit! Yes. Oh my god. Oh, I was asking. Can you share your study tips?
I think a good tip is to start early. Start preparing for your exams early, and you can ask this guy.
I suppose my motivation comes from doing subjects that I like math. Like I really like math, and so like
really like
yeah. So I don't think of it as like a chore. It's more like a fun thing to do.
I just don't study. I study like an hour a day. I don't need I just lose motivation after an hour.
I think it's just motivating to understand the topic fully, and then to do well on the exams. I mean, get a good grade. That's what all of us want. To maintain your motivation to study.
I think yes, not when you do your program for the day, for example, don't put too much stuff. Just to be glad of having done what you had planned to do. Take regular breaks because it's important for the brain to recover. Turn off your phone, and yeah, that's it for me.
That's it. You?
I would say for me with the new, I just started doing it, but I go on a notes app, and I'll make like each class. I'll put the date when the exam is, and then down below I'll be like to review, to study, and then I'll note my questions, and then I'll reference the problems that I'm confused about, and then I'll go over them if I have time with like the prof or whatever during office hours.
I say, did it work well for this exam?
It actually did, yeah, it's been really well, so
Nice.
yeah.
Was it easy to maintain your motivation to study?
I mean, not really, but then I didn't really have anything better to do other than study, so that was my only option. I think one thing that kept us going was like we were looking forward to going out after the exams, so that was really a motivating factor.
Encourage you to study hard.
Yes.
To go outside after the exam.
Yes.
So you guys are planning to go outside today or like?
Well, we went like day before yesterday. Like you should reward yourself after working hard.
I know this is like pretty cliched and all, but like I find like after every class, just like revising what you have studied or like go through your notes and all, just so like once finals hit, like you're not so stressed, like oh I don't know anything, like you still know some stuff, you know.
Yeah. For me, I like to plan everything out, like what subject I'll be studying today and stuff like that. So that really helps me get a clear picture in my head about what I have to do. So I know what I have to do and then I'll do it.
インタビューから見えてきた勉強猛者の共通点。それは自分なりの勉強スタイルを確立していることでした。10時間毎日勉強していた彼女は休憩のウォーキングと水を飲むこと。コンスタントに6時間続けていた彼女はポモドーロと規則正しい生活リズム。かつては10時間勉強していたと語ってくれたフランス人の彼も携帯対策、計画の立て方、休憩の重視など独自の工夫が見られました。皆さん共感するポイントありましたでしょうか？同様のインタビューをシリコンバレーの2トップ、スタンフォード大学と UC バークレー、さらにはアジア大学ランキングナンバーワンの NUS、韓国のソウル大学、南はハワイ大学マノア校からアメリカ最北キャンパスのアラスカ大学まで世界中の優秀な学生にインタビューをしてきましたので、ぜひチャンネル登録のボタンを押してお待ちください。
Do you have any future goal or future dream?
I'd like to get into
ただその前に次回は彼らの将来の夢に迫っていきます。カナダのエリートは一体どんな未来を描いているのか、ぜひお楽しみに。
Future goals, I want to enjoy my life. I don't know, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. Live a happy, wonderful life.